With MLB the Show 22 tech tests in full swing, I wanted to go through and break down some of my thoughts on the tech tests and talk about some of the new features we've gotten a chance to see so far in this MLB the Show 22 tech test. Some of the new things that have been introduced into the game that we've gotten our first little hands on. I wanted to come in here, break some of that down. Of course, none of this is final. Things can and will change between now and the release date on April 1st if you're getting that early access. So do take everything with a grain of salt. Out the gate, I must say I am enjoying it a lot. First thing I want to talk about real quick, not really super gameplay feature wise, but the servers, man. I don't know what the player base really looks like on the tech test. I don't know how many people have been playing it, but the servers feel very crisp and smooth so far. Gameplay, online connections feel very smooth, responsive, a much better experience overall playing online so far than I've had in MLB the Show in the past, really ever, man. It's feeling crisp right now. Hopefully this is a sign of what it's going to look like come release day on 22. Let's go ahead though, let's take a look at our first real major gameplay change that we see here in MLB the Show 22. So we're currently here in the BP mode. First thing I want to hit on is the brand new anchoring system here in MLB the Show 22. As we can see here, I'll actually hold down R2 so it's popped up there. We have these 9 dots within our strike zone here, and that is where we can have our PCI default to. So as you can see, as I'm moving my left stick in a direction and pressing it, it is then highlighting that circle. When I press it in, it is selecting that circle, and basically that is going to be the spot where my PCI reverts to. As you can see, my PCI is up and in here on the left side. If I pull it down to the left and release it, it is going to go back to that up and in portion. Same of course if we did the opposite of it. You can see the difference in the starting location for those versus what would be your standard starting location now, and it will be the Show 21. It would just start here in the middle and you work from that. So I'll say this out the gate, I've still been playing around with it, but I love the anchoring so far. I've been starting up like this, just moving my PCI up a little bit out the gate. It's allowing me to get down and get these low pitches without dropping my PCI as much, and it's allowing me to make a lot more solid contact on those swing types. We'll say definitely anchoring something you got to mess around with and find what works for you. You may be loving it up and in. I know some people are going to want down and away. Some people aren't going to use anchoring at all. It's not going to impact them. But especially if you're playing and you know my opponent has been just throwing nothing but pitches inside the strike zone, I can anchor in here and really improve my ability to attack those pitch types, change where my PCI is defaulting to, and it really allows me to command a portion of the zone. Or if you know your own deficiencies, again, I'm a PCI dropper, so by starting it high, it makes it so where I have to move the PCI so much more to get down here to the bottom versus what would naturally be that movement towards the bottom. I'm loving anchoring a ton. I feel like it's going to be a massive game changer for MLB the Show 22 and really change how hitting feels and what my approach is to hitting. Now, in addition to anchoring as well, one more thing on hitting we do see a lot. As you can see, man, look, I'm not getting under that ball. I'm absolutely squaring it up. We got a lot of new stances and swings for a lot of players in the game. Of course, we don't know every player. We haven't seen every person in the game, but guys like Trout, Ohtani, even Tatis, they have some slightly adjusted stances and swings that, in my opinion, is for the better. A lot more smooth on the animation front. The swings feel smooth, they feel fluid. Honestly, really polished experience so far overall, especially with some of the new stances and swing types that we've seen so far in the tech test. Of course, again, everything is subject to change, but man, really enjoyable hitting experience so far. I will say hit outcomes don't necessarily feel different. Same hitting engine. I haven't seen a reduction in hard hit balls or an increase in hard hit balls one way or another. Still perfect outs, still some outside the PCI home runs, still a lot of foul balls. Another slight change they've done to hitting as well is actually a dynamic PCI size that will change as you go. So you can see here in the middle of the strike zone, that PCI just about reaches edge to edge for the strike zone with just a little bit on both sides. Now, watch as I move the PCI down outside of the zone. We see that PCI shrinking continually as I move it down. Same if I move it left, right, up, down. We can see that PCI shrinking. So pitches that are outside the zone, pitches that are dotted on corners, you will have a harder time making solid contact with this year, as you will have a slightly smaller PCI. Really see the impact on pitches entirely out of the strike zone altogether. That is where we see the massive impact on that. Hopefully that leads to less hits on pitches outside the strike zone, less foul balls on pitches outside the strike zone, and of course less home runs on pitches outside the strike zone on not great swings, because we see a ton of that so far in MLB the Show 21. I think that's something that the smaller PCI, especially once you're getting to those Hall of Fame legend difficulties, really going to see an impact with that. And I expect a reduced amount of solid contact on those pitches. So if you're dotting up your pitches, you should be rewarded for that this year. It seems like it's going to be the case. So here we are now on to the pitching side of things. First thing I'd like to point out, very small. If you notice the feedback on my pitches, we have that little red line that pops up under perfect. And as I hit green pitches, we see just that little bit of flash of green and yellow. That's such a very minimal change, but I really love the slight look that that change makes. Very crisp. Again, like I said in the intro, game feels very crisp and smooth so far. One thing though, massive change with pitching. Our par sizes pretty similar to where they were at the end of the game last year. Obviously, par sizes started off very small, grew throughout the year as it was obvious that pinpoint was a little too strong. One thing changed this year, as you can see, this is a splitter that I'm throwing. If I throw this splitter down in the zone where you would traditionally throw a splitter, it acts and behaves fairly normally. There's really no change to this, right? That is the traditional spot for a splitter, kind of down in the zone, breaking ball type of pitch. However, if I begin to throw a splitter up in the zone, again, compare the size of the par right now, the perfect accuracy region, the shadow around the ball. If you're new to MLB the Show, that is the range in which the ball you pitch can go if you throw it perfectly. So if I make a perfect input right here, the ball can go anywhere in that shaded region. We can see a decent amount of room on each side of the perfect accuracy region within the strike zone. So if I throw it just like this, it's going to be in the strike zone pretty much middle down. However, as I raise this splitter up, we can see the perfect accuracy region grows to almost the entire width of the plate here. As we continue to go higher and higher, that perfect accuracy region increases. I mean, you can see the drastic size difference we have here, and that is a new mechanic implemented this year to attempt to combat some of that high pitch cheese that we've had in the past. We can see here with a fastball, not going to be a difference, right? A fastball you can throw at any part of the strike zone. You can really throw anywhere, and you're not going to get a accuracy penalty, because in real life, you can throw a fastball anywhere and it can be effective. However, in MLB the Show 21, of course, we have the sinker spam. And I've actually got Noah Syndergaard here now. One of everyone's favorite pitchers in MLB 21 is the up and in sinker. We can see what this sinker looks like when it's down in the zone. Not a ton of control here on Syndergaard, but enough control. He can relatively dot that pitch low and in. However, if I wanted to start throwing some up and in or up and away sinkers, again, a very favorite pitch for a lot of people, we can see how big that perfect accuracy region goes. So just look at the difference between down and in right there, solid little perfect accuracy region. Whereas if we go up and in, there is a lot of room for error. We'll see if we can dot this in here. And again, not a bad pitch, right? It's still not a bad pitch, but it definitely does not go exactly where I want it to on what was a perfect pitch up and in. We can see I miss it just a little bit, and the location misses by quite a bit. So definitely going to be a punishment for throwing pitches up in the zone that wouldn't traditionally be thrown up in the zone in real life. Again, they're not unthrowable. If I wanted to, I can come in here with a changeup up in the zone. I can do this. I can still dot it up, but there is a much higher chance that I'm going to mess up the pitch. Or even with a perfect input, we can see how big this curveball is. This curveball can essentially go, if I'm trying to throw it high, it can essentially go anywhere on the plate, even with a perfect input, much less a non-perfect input. It really goes wherever it wants to, versus down here in the zone, we have a lot more control on it. So definitely expect a lot less high pitch spam from sinkers, changeups. Sliders was another big one. People love throwing the up and in slider. A lot less of that this year. And I think overall it is going to make a more enjoyable experience. A little bit of that cheese, so to speak, being toned down. We don't have a ton of cheese in MLB the Show, but a little bit of that is being toned down with this change. Again, though, any fastball pitches back with Ohtani, this cutter, for example, not going to have any impact. So cutter still going to be able to throw that up and in and be effective. Another thing as well is, could we see two-seamers become a lot more effective too? Two-seamers in this game, not very good at all. Don't really see many people throw them because, of course, a sinker, if you're going to throw that up and in, it's going to act better than what the two-seamer does anyway. But this two-seamers this year are going to have a lot more control around the strike zone. So possible that we see a change with that headed into MLB the Show 22. Overall, I like this change. Probably going to need some fine-tuning. They may tone it down a little bit because it is pretty extreme right now. But I think in the long run, it is going to result in a game that plays a lot better, a lot more realistic. And you're not going to have to worry about somebody throwing 102-mile-an-hour sinkers with Nolan Ryan up and in the zone for 120 pitches in a row, because between anchoring and their inability to throw that pitch effectively and consistently with control, you're going to be able to attack that and hit that over time as they miss their spot and you adjust to it. Now, one thing with this is it is negated a lot by control pitchers. For example, here we have Jaime Barria. He has a primary slider, so he has a relatively decent amount of control on that slider. When I throw it up in the zone, obviously that perfect accuracy region increases a lot, but not near as severe as what we saw with somebody like Syndergaard, who doesn't have as much control. So could this lead to guys like maybe Greg Maddux, Tom Seaver being a little bit more viable this year with their ability to throw up in the zone with non-fastballs a little bit more effectively? I definitely think that could be a possibility moving forward. One final note on pitching as well. The amount of pitchers with outliers seems greatly reduced. It is still in the game. It's not gone. I've seen some people mention that, possibly bring up that. Definitely 100% still in the game, but just so far from what we've seen in the tech test, definitely some people who had outlier in MLB the Show 21, no longer having it in MLB the Show 22, and a lot less people having it overall. So possibly seeing the widespread usage of outlier being reduced a little bit, making it really for those top tier flame ballers in baseball, which I'm totally here for. Makes it more of an added bonus to certain pitchers versus a crutch that every pitcher has to have to be effective. In MLB Show 21, if a dude doesn't have an outlier, outside of some extreme examples, those pitchers generally just aren't that great in the game. I think reducing the amount of people with outlier can help to separate those a little bit and have some more viability to different pitcher archetypes. We've talked about hitting, we've talked about pitching. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball and what's new here in MLB 22. We have quite a few changes, in my opinion, that are really, really nice. Defense has always kind of been not necessarily an issue in MLB the Show, but definitely has had its flaws, definitely has had its downsides, and has had its areas where it's just needed a little bit of love. And I think we've gotten that this year in a really, really good way. Last year, of course, we saw the introduction of the perfect throw meter, so you could hit your relay and then throw that bad boy home and gun people. Absolutely love that change. Love gunning people. That's gone to the next level this year. We'll see if we can get a fly ball right here and they hit a home run. So that's you know, I am using the Angels in this pitching practice, so gonna be giving up a lot of home runs. Back to back, you can't make this up. Michael Brantley just went back-to-back home runs off the Angels. I'm trying to get a no shot. Hello? Michael Brantley, 3 homers in a row. Can he do it? A 4th home run for Michael Brantley. 4 in a row. He's different. Okay, you gotta chill. Nah, you got to chill. Nope. You can I chill? Chill. Okay. I gotta set up the hit position how we want it to be. Give me a fly ball to center field, but don't hit a freaking home run, Michael Brantley. Relax, okay? As I was saying last year, Perfect throws. You can see that meter's back, but it's been expanded on. As we can see here, we get that throw in, and we have the opportunity to make a perfect throw there to third. Not sure if you noticed it. We'll get some more fly balls here to center field. I got Brandon Marsh. Michael Brantley is the next coming of Barry Bonds himself. A nice jumping catch at the wall, though, from Brandon Marsh. Looked like a slightly different animation, but look how online that throw is as I make a perfect throw on the relay to third. Let's try to go. We'll hit the relay there. All right, perfect relay. Marsh gets under it. Quick trigger. Goes to third, and the quick tag there. Slightly new tag animation. We'll get another look at that tag animation here in a minute because it is even quicker at times. But notice how quickly Brandon Marsh got that ball, even not running up under it, but got the ball out to the cutoff man, and the urgency from the cutoff man to third base to get that runner out. Big time. I love that a lot. Let's get a little bit of a quicker runner there. All right, a little bit more speed here on second. We got the ball hit to Brandon Marsh. We hit the perfect throw. This is going to third base. Perfect throw on the line. The tag, and he's out. Notice how quick that tag was. That would never happen in MLB the Show 21. Because first off, from that throw going directly to third from center field, it would be on the left side of the bag or the right side of the bag. They'd have to catch it and sweep back to make a tag. So one, you wouldn't even get the throw online. But two, even if the throw was online, they would have had a slow tag down to get them at third. Notice how quickly that tag gets down. All right, we got a shallow fly ball here. We hit the perfect throw to third. Marsh is going to run up under it. Quickly out of the glove. I mean, dude, this is gunning him by a mile, maybe not, but a quick tag. And he's out. Look how quick that tag is, man. That's beautiful. And this is Brandon Marsh. He's not even that great of a fielder. Doesn't have some out of this world incredible arm. He's a more average defender, so to speak. Imagine what this would look like with a more elite fielder. Can he get him the little spin throw? But notice still, yeah, he was safe, but notice how quick it was out of the glove for Brandon Marsh. I don't know what it is with this practice where they're hitting so many home runs, but Raisel Iglesias, my man's is going through it right now. Let's see if we got him right here. Let's see if we can get one more. All right, well, I missed the cutoff and the throw to third. We'll try to get that quick transition out, a little offline on the throw, so he's going to be safe because I didn't hit the perfect throw. I'm gonna try to hit one from the cutoff man here. Marsh gets under it. We should have that from the cutoff. Got him from the cutoff. Look how quick that was, man. That glove transition is super quick. I also want to look at a couple double plays. Also see a lot more animations here in the infield. We'll try to turn that one right there. Really quick out of the glove. Boom, boom. Over to second, over to first. Really smooth field. That's not a ground ball to second base. I'm so confused. Really smooth fielding animations this year is what I'm noticing, and a huge increase in fielder urgency. We see Tyler Wade, Fletcher. That's smooth. That's so smooth looking. You can definitely tell that they've added some adjustments right here to these animations, to the urgency of this as well. Let's look at a couple with the bases loaded here. We get a ground ball, and Walsh gets up and fires it home. We get the double play home to first, but look at that urgency there from Walsh getting that ball home. We have this one right here with Rendon. He'll get up, recover. Not quite there to make the play, but that was a great recovery off the diving catch. Another thing as well, I definitely noticed a lot more balls deflecting off of diving players. It didn't seem like it was automatic catches this year, which I love. We'll see if Tyler Wade can get up, throw it to home. We will turn the double play as well. But man, that field urgency has been awesome to see so far. And there's a ton more animations. Obviously, can't set up every scenario. Hits at the wall feel a lot better. Oh, look at that. That's smooth. Ooh, the double turn throws. It's smooth. It's clean. Another thing that feels a lot better as well are chances where somebody has, ooh, can we get them at home? Joe Adele from right field. Beautiful throw, beautiful tag. Gunned him at home. Another thing I've noticed too is general urgency from infielders in relay, man. I had an opportunity. had a situation pop up the other day where somebody tried to go second to third on me on a ground ball. I had gotten a force out at second because it was a first and second situation. Deep ball in a hole. Wasn't able to get the runner at first for the double play. Didn't throw it. But as soon as I noticed that runner going home, I threw the ball home, had the perfect throw opportunity, and my shortstop got up, gunned the ball home. No hesitation, no hops, slinging it down there, gunned the guy out at home. It was awesome to see, man. Overall, the new fielding animations and urgency has been huge so far. I think that is one of the more polished fielding experiences I've ever seen in an MLB the Show game, which is great to see headed into MLB 22, man. So far, lots of quality of life changes. Another big change as well is the overall presentation package. There's more to come. We know they're going to be doing a whole feature premiere on it, but we can see the new scoreboard there, which features our win probability, that little ball that you see out beside Baltimore and Atlanta. That's my team. That's the current win probability of the game. As well, they've added brand new home run replays, which are super sick. Let's see if we can get a home run to replay real quick. There's a home run right there. Perfect with Trouty. Let's replay that and look at this new replay presentation we got. It is absolutely beautiful. There is another perfect home run right there. Let's take a look. One, we can see a much more animated, no doubt, animation there from Soto. Let's hit the replay. Take a look at that one right there. A lot more animation on that no doubt home run. That's one of the biggest things I noticed so far. And I can't get it to pop up, but there it is. The Google Cloud StatCast. We got the X to be a little launch angle, hang time, projected distance. Those little new addition to the presentation package make it look very crisp. Also, we can see a little look at the card art and the attributes on the card, man. It all pops to me. It looks so very clean. Very polished game so far. So there you have it, man. A bit of a heater, a bit of a long one, a dense one, man. We broke down a lot of the new things that I've seen so far with the Show 22, playing around with this tech test. Overall, man, I've been impressed. Obviously, have very high hopes for with the Show 22. My biggest concerns is really how will the servers hold up. They're holding up so far in the tech test really well, but overall, the game feels very smooth. Again, pretty much the same foundation that we've been working on gameplay wise for the past couple of years, but it definitely feels like this is the smoothest experience and the most polished experience they've given us so far. Again, not the full release, so a lot can and will change. And of course, when you start playing it for multiple weeks, months down into the summer, any potential flaws will be a little bit more heightened at that point. But so far out the gate, man, it seems like one of the more polished, well-rounded experiences we've been able to have in MLB the Show, especially for a tech test. I'm really enjoying it so far, and really looking forward to that April 1st early access release date. If y'all have gotten to play the tech test, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. As always, y'all enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time, I will catch y'all around.